So we just got back this evening from the Waterpark. We were hanging out as a family, so we went to, today's a Sunday as we're recording it. Right now we don't have a consistent day recording these, so went to church, then went to the Waterpark, and then ended up at home.
Yeah.
So it was a good day. Good time for us.
Thought we were not going to be able to go to the Waterpark.
Yeah. Florida weather is absolutely crazy.
Well, it hasn't been it has not rained, except for maybe one time since January.
And it wasn't supposed to rain, then it was supposed to rain, and then it was supposed to rain a tiny bit, and then it rained a bunch, and then it didn't rain, and then it...
Yeah, and so then it basically just had like a freak out moment of like rain, and so it was like, is it going to rain? Is it not going to rain? Is it going to rain? And so it like poured when it wasn't going to rain, and then when it said it wasn't going to rain, it didn't rain.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's fine.
That's how weather here works in Central Florida, so...
We needed the rain anyways, but
still, it's kind of crazy, so... Had a good time. Got some suntans going on, and so some fun times just in the water. So Bella loves the water, and Sophia loves the water. And Bella's a little bit crazy though, because she's like trying to dive, and
she
almost face planted today.
Yeah, I walked up at the wrong time. I was like going to
didn't face plant.
I know. I was going to get my phone to take pictures, and
it would have been a great moment for you recording.
Oh, yeah. And then I like walking back, and I'm like rounding the corner, and all of a sudden I see her, and she's like literally like head diving, and then he just like catches her, and I was like, that would have been really bad, like scrapes, like everything. So I was like, well, glad that
Definitely both our daughters have that in common, with Sophia falling off not a ledge, but
oh yeah,
whatever it was.
Like she fell backwards. She was like so tired that she
fell backwards. That was like a year ago.
No, it was not a year ago. It was when she was 2, so 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Almost 4.
This is why I use you for timelines. I have no clue. But yeah, she fell backwards off of like a, what was it? It was like a ledge.
It was a ledge.
Wall. It was like a wall.
It was at Winnie the Pooh. Yeah,
she fell backwards off of a wall, and it was like that, and the one with Bella today would have been like perfect on videos. Like there's like dad saves you see on the internet. Because I remember I just like grabbed her leg, and it was pretty much just like hanging her over the wall. She was freaked out, but head didn't hit and nothing else hit. So it was just a moment of like really quick. But yeah, life's crazy sometimes.
And then Bella got her she took a nap, and then she didn't want to. She did not want to.
Right now, she has not been sleeping.
Yeah, that's just.
And Kayla's been the one that's been hitting the brunt of that, mainly because she's been feeding Bella at night.
To see if that helps, and that's not been helping. I don't know. Like this leap, this growth spurt, everything she's going through is just taking a toll. Anyways, but then she like took a nap, but then she was still tired. And so she had nothing to do with the water until like the last like hour. And then she got her second wind, and she was like, water.
Right.
And then she didn't want to like not be in the water at that point.
And she was like ready to jump into it.
Yeah.
So.
But then towards the end, she was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm hungry. I'm tired. Like,
why don't you talk a little bit about like leaps, and then how you're managing that, working through that, especially with a low sleep right now.
Yeah. So leaps are basically, I follow like the Wonder Week app. And so it tells like basically like big developmental things that are happening in babies. And I will tell you, kids have more than 10 leaps, but it just basically follows from babies until like 18 months essentially. And so it's basically you have a leap, and then it can take either like a few weeks off or like a month off. Typically, once they get older, it's like they have a month of a leap, and then it's a leap off, and then a month of leap. And so it's nice to follow along, because it's like it helps them understand.
What is a leap technically? If you were to
just
describe it.
Like basically where their brain is almost like, it's like a light switch is like going
turning on.
Like turning on in their brain. So I don't remember exactly like what this specific one is called, but she's starting to connect like sounds and things like that. Like one of them was like sequences. So it was that was the last one, I think, was sequence. Mm-hmm. And so basically it just means that she could understand like the routine and the flow of the day. And so like there was like a light switch of like, oh, this time or
6 o'clock.
not necessarily
sleep now.
Yeah, not necessarily like specific times, but it's just like in her body, it's like how her little brain works. It's like, okay, well, it's getting about this time, so that means it's probably my feeding time, or like this and this and this. And so it just is a lot. And then on top of that, she's like starting to like going through just like different milestones,
crawling, standing up, trying to walk, trying to dive in the water, like every
climbing, like she's climbing, she's pulling to stand, like she's trying to walk, but she can't, like she's
but all the leaps have ramifications as far as sleep, or at least
not all of them, but most of
for her, a lot of them
for her, yes. So with Sophia, it did not. It was just like the big sleep regression ones. And with Bella, it's pretty much there's only been like there's been a couple leaps that hasn't really affected her sleep, but this one has really like, at this point I just call it the 10-month sleep regression, because it's been like the whole time pretty much since she's been 10 months that it's just like really taken a toll. And so she's been sleeping through the night for a while. And but this month has been waking up. Yeah. She's waking up anywhere from she'll wake up at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, or she'll wake up at 4 o'clock. Sometimes she goes back to sleep after I feed her, and sometimes she's up for 2 hours. So it's literally like Russian roulette. It's like, all right, what's going to happen tonight? Are we going to go back to sleep right away, or are we going to be up for 2 hours?
Right.
And typically if she's up for 2 hours, like if she wakes up at 2 and she's up until 4, I'm like, all right, your turn. Time for you. Like you've had some solid good sleeps. Like
the other day she woke up at 3, and then we swapped at like 4.
It was like 4 or 4:30, something like that.
And then I was with her for half hour or more before she was asleep. So it was just like standing right beside the crib, and then she finally just like fell asleep.
And then last night I was like, you got up with her at like 4:30, I guess, or 5. It was like 4:30 or 5, and then she slept for like another hour, an hour and a half, and then she was like up at 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, she was up at 7.
So 7. So like,
and she was like wide awake. Like I like tried to put the passy in, she wouldn't take it, and then she was like grabbing the side and like pulling herself up, and I was like, yeah, okay, we're just gonna get you out. So she came downstairs and hung out with me in the morning. But how's it been this time around? There's been different pieces that I've questioned or been like, oh, this is new or something, and like Kayla's like, yeah, that's because you weren't here, or you weren't around, or you weren't present.
It's definitely been different as far as like you're willing to help, as far as like have me get sleep. So like if
actually help in the middle of the night versus like rolling over and
like really like it's not even, I mean, typically the times that it's not like, I mean, you're also at least getting sleep the first half of the night too, and then your body is just used to like getting up at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, because if she cries at like 11 or 12, I don't hear it.
Yeah, because you're like out. But it's fine.
Like between like 3 and 5, then I'll hear it. But
so like, but other than that, like it's not like he like wakes up, acknowledges it, and rolls back over. It's more like, all right, like do you need to tap out? You need me? And I'm like, yes, because I need sleep. Like I've been up since X amount of time. So then he'll get up and switch out. And then he's just like, have you fed her? And I'm like, yeah, I already fed her. She's just...
Right. And that's been something that it's been like something that for both of us to get used to is just you being willing to accept help.
Yeah.
And newness of me giving help. And sometimes that can produce a lot of frustration, especially on my part, when I'm asking to help you and you're like, I got it. And you're like, I got it. And I'm like, you're like falling asleep, or like, I got it. And I'm like, I know you're tired. You need rest. But that's been I think that's been a harder thing for you to accept help.
Yeah.
Is it just because you're not sure if it's like real, or if I'm going to like throw it back in your face later of like, I helped you?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's more like subconsciously that I think that, because it's not like you actually actively do that anymore. But I think
throw it back in your face.
Yeah. But I think there's still like some things of like it being like an inconvenience or something like that. And so I feel like I feel like that's just been the thing that I've had to learn through like this year of like postpartum. And I feel like it's probably going to be, honestly, like I feel like it's probably going to be up until like Bella turns like 3.5, 4 years when I came back and you were more actively involved in like Sophia's life around that like 3 year, I guess. Yeah, I guess it was like almost 3, about like 2.5 to 3.
Okay.
3 timeline, because up until then
I wasn't really present.
You weren't really present.
And you were,
or it was like half-hearted. Yeah, or right. It was like half-hearted. And so I feel like it's just been almost like this like healing journey in one sense of like having to rewire like how I think, because it's not something that you can really like work through until you've like gone through it. Like, because like I've worked through a lot of
like
stuff.
A trigger to do it. Yeah.
Right. Like I've worked through a lot of stuff and I worked through a lot of triggers, but like this is like a whole different thing of like, okay, now like I'm having to like rework how it was like with Sophia, and it's like, okay, it is different. Like I have to actively tell myself like it is different, but there's still like those like things of like, oh, is it going to be an inconvenience to him? Is like, yeah, or something like that. So I think it's just like the process of like reworking, because even like just postpartum, like I remember like there was like times that I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do with 2 kids. Like, and you're like, you don't have to do it on your own. Like, I was like, but it feels like I did. Like, even though like I didn't, it was just like the whole process of having to get back into being able to like trust you in that aspect. Like I trust you, but like it's just that was like a unhealed tab.
What helps you the best to be able to accept help?
I mean, when I'm at my wit's end at that point.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I think it's just reminding myself that we've come leaps and bounds from where we were, and like reminding myself that you are willing to help and things like that. There are still times when especially like I'm overly, like when I'm exhausted and stuff and I'm not really thinking like emotionally correctly or like whatever, then I'm going to like be a little bit more triggered than what I would be if it was more in my right mind.
Right. Yeah. And it's not always easy to accept help.
No.
And part of it is your personality of wanting to do it all on your own, even though you don't have to.
Yeah. That's just me.
A piece that we're trying to work on as well, just because like I think there's times that we've realized just either you have expectations and don't communicate them, or it's just a piece of not accepting help and then getting frustrated that stuff isn't done or stuff that isn't done the way you want it to be or whatever it might be. And I'm just like, I'm here, just let me know so I can help, which is difficult because sometimes when I try to help, it might not be the way that you want it to be. And then it frustrates you, but then I don't know because you haven't told me. So like, it's a catch-22 sometimes.
For example, I will say that I handled you putting the clothes away very well. I was a little like frustrated at first because I was like, that is not what I
It was like a full circle conversation of me getting frustrated at the beginning of our marriage about fighting clothes.
I will say, I was a little frustrated. I was like, that's not what I asked you to do, but I appreciate you for putting the clothes away.
I totally heard that I was supposed to do the clothes.
And that's totally fine. I accepted it. I was like, you know what? At least they got
give some context because they have no clue what we're talking about. We're just like, come along with the story. Now if we backpedal.
ADHD moment over here. Okay.
You were going to rest, or no, you were going out. I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember either. Anyways, I just knew there was like a lot on my plate. There's a lot. I have a massive to-do list. And
yeah, you were out like late with Sophia and like with the girls or something like that, I think.
No, because you had Bella upstairs. So maybe I was doing something down here. I needed to do something down here. And you took Bella upstairs. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Anyways.
We can't remember. That was like a day ago.
It was not a day ago because of you.
If it was, we still wouldn't remember.
Anyways. But
you said something, and you said something of like, I need to do the clothes, and I heard I need to do the clothes, meaning me. So
yes, and which is fine.
I did.
Like
clothes.
I was like, that's not really what I wanted you to do, but that's totally fine. I was like, it's fine. it will be okay. Because I knew that he wasn't going to put them away like where they needed to go. But I was like, you know what? It's whatever. It's not that big of a
And a
deal.
5-year-old
They got,
says,
hang on, at least they got put away. And so the next day, I'm like getting the girls ready and I tell Sophia, I'm like, hey, can you find Bella's something? I don't even remember. And she's like opening up the door and she's like, it's not there. And I'm like, okay, well, Dad put the clothes away. So it might be
is it
in
her hat?
bottom drawer. Oh, yeah. I think
Is
it
the
might have
hat?
been her hat.
Yeah. So I put it in the bottom drawer.
Oh, yeah. Because we were going to the beach or something or getting ready to, I don't know.
The next day, yeah.
Anyways. Yeah. And so I was like actively, and she like opens it up and there's like, she's like, why did Dad put the sheets in there? Why is this in there? And she literally is like, Dad doesn't know how to put stuff away. He didn't go to school when he was younger. I was just like, no, that's not okay. Like, we're not doing this. Dad was being helpful. He may not understand where everything goes, but at least he put stuff away. And she like walked out and was like, well, that's the reason why my pajamas were in my shirt drawer. She just left them in there. Like, I went through her clothes like yesterday to like get the old ones out that don't fit her anymore, and her pajamas were still in her like shirt drawer. Like, she didn't do anything about it. She just complained, and I was like, no, we're not gonna complain about it. Like, absolutely not. Like, if you want to complain, you can fix it yourself. But
that's hilarious. I didn't realize about the pajamas.
yeah, it's fine. And I was like, no, it's fine because Dad was being helpful, and so she was just like, okay, that's you.
Very much personality, very much opinionated, and totally willing to communicate all of that in any moment. Yeah. So
she was an open book. She definitely speaks her mind.
Yeah, we've definitely created a space for her to speak her mind, which right, wrong, or indifferent for some parents, but that's been a big piece that we've wanted to have her feel comfortable expressing and talking through stuff. And even though we know that's how we want to parent, at times we're like, we don't like parenting that way because then it reveals more triggers inside of us that we have to work on, where we get frustrated, or when there's something that boils up inside of us being like, that's not how our parents would respond, or that's not how we were raised, or different pieces like that. But you did a cool thing with her the other day, right? With the phrases. Do you remember that? I don't think you recorded it, but...
Oh, no, I didn't record it. I need to re-record it like because I want to, but it was just...
It was like it was having the kid complete phrases that they haven't heard before.
Like...
That were like in our...
Like that...
Growing...
Oh, like people heard like growing up, and it was just like the...
What was one of them?
Like...
One of them that she answered.
Kids, oh, I brought you into this world, and obviously like the toxic version is I could take you out. And so... She said, and I was like, I brought you into this world. And she was like, and I was like, finish the sentence. And she was like, and you love me, or I love you, or something. And I was like, okay. And then like another one is like, children are to be seen, not heard. Mm-hmm. And I was like, children are to be seen, I said, children are to be seen or children are to be seen, but, and she said,
I think it was and.
But, oh yeah. Yeah. And she said, and loved. And so it's just like things like that. And there was like another one that was
I don't remember what they all were.
Yeah.
It was neat just to be able to see the phrases that she doesn't know because it's already like a generation. And so being able to shift mindsets and thought process and generational concepts and ideas that weren't just necessarily even in our families, all of those, but just like different pieces that were
things
around.
That we'll have heard. And
and being able to have her see like a different perspective, because like we want her to be able to grow up with the willingness and ability to express herself, to communicate, and not have fear that it has to fit into a certain mold or box, or which makes it interesting sometimes depending on the words that she picks up or the words that she hears. So we're still working on different pieces of that.
It convicts us to watch what we say or how we say things.
Or the words that we say, or with words that she picks up or hears.
Or phrases that she says, or how she says certain things in a certain tone, which mimics how we say certain things in a certain tone. And so it's like, okay.
And that's the worst, when we get our own tone back at us, mirrored to us from a 5-year-old. And we're like, it sounds so much better in my head than it does coming out of your mouth.
Yep. 100%. And then you just realize you need to tone your tone a little bit.
I've been working on that. We've been working on that a lot.
Yeah.
In a lot of good ways. I think there's I want to say early on, but like even over like the past year, there'd be times where you would catch me in a tone or in a frustration, and at first off, it wouldn't end well, right? You'd say something, and I would just blow up because I'm like, I don't want to hear it. And then it'd be other times where I'd say stuff, and you'd say stuff, and I'd just have like shame and guilt, and then it'd just be like, and there'd be other times where you'd like say stuff, and I'd be kind of like, humph, like
Right.
I don't want to hear this. Or mainly it'd be triggering like if it was in front of our 5-year-old, like that was like the biggest trigger a lot of times for me. And then the other, like leading all the way up to like, was it yesterday or the day before, she just like looked at me, and then I just started smiling. I was just like,
I didn't even say
anything. I was like, I don't want to admit that I'm wrong right now, but I was like, yes, I'm not acting how I should. And I had to apologize and pause my little direction that I was going for a rant, because I was just like frustrated, and it was not how I wanted to parent, how I wanted to show up. But it was a piece where it was like a moment that really like a year ago wouldn't have happened. A year ago, it would have been like, I would have probably like wanted to just blow up and be like pissed off. But I got to a place where I was doing meal prep, and it was yesterday. I was doing meal prep and was going off because our 5-year-old was having a ridiculous attitude and not listening, and I was just getting frustrated with him, like, I'm done with this. And then started going off a little bit, and I just look over, and Kayla's just like looking at me.
At first I was like, if I say anything, it's not going to help the situation. So I was like, in this moment, I don't even know what to do, because if I insert myself in this, it's going to not be good. If I say something to him, it's not going to be good. So I just like look at him, and I'm like, where are you going with this? And I just like give him this look.
It doesn't work.
And he was like, he just saw that I was just like looking like, where are you going with this? Like, what is the point? Like, what are you doing?
I think it worked because it was just like funny in one sense. Like it was just different. Like, and that's even what our therapists had talked about, just having like different like distractions or misdirects. Because if you would have said something, it probably would have been more annoying.
Yeah.
But you didn't. You just looked at me, and I'm just like, you're right. With one look. So frustrating sometimes. But I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Parenting challenges are definitely, we definitely don't have it all figured out, but we're definitely working on it piece by piece and trying to adjust and shift as our 5-year-old goes on 15.
Yeah. What's 6 gonna bring? It's gonna bring like 18? Like, I don't know.
It's been crazy. It's been wild. So that's been a little bit inside of our world. Just trying to think anything else in particular that we need to touch base on.
Yeah, we're just getting ready for birthdays.
Right.
About to have a toddler and a 6-year-old, 1-year-old and a 6-year-old.
So this month is busy planning and getting different things ready, and then
we have Sophia's birthday in May and Bella's birthday in June. So prepare for my mental state, because I'm going to be an emotional basket case for the next 2 months.
So it'll be good though.
It's fine. It just means that they're growing up, and then that just means more babies.
It won't be long that you'll have flavor again.
Time for another one.
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's okay. But it'll be next year. Not anytime soon. Oh, anyways.
Never know.
You never know. But you really do. Like, you really don't. Whatever God says, he might be like, here, surprise. Well, that's your plan.
Anyways, you can tell it's getting late because we're spiraling.
We're starting to get
ready for snacks in bed. Anyways, we're just going to go ahead and wrap up for tonight. So thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of Trauma, Drama, and Life. Right now, we don't have an agenda of what we're talking through or what we're talking about. You can always feel free to write in and give us topics that you want us to discuss or talk through. You can do that at ben@rawmotivations.com. We'd love to be able to hear from you. If you don't already, follow us on either this podcast or on YouTube or on Instagram, Trauma, Drama, and Life Podcast. We've got those different channels where you can either watch the video, listen to it, or connect inside some of the reels and some of the shorts. So anyways, we're going to wrap it for tonight. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.